I'm listening to you on Primary Perspectives while I'm in the studio. And, of course, Dana texts right back and said, oh, my God. And I said, I'll have to get you on my show because you've got a feature film coming out, Lucy's Bedtime, yes?
Yeah, that's correct. So Lucy's Bedtime is basically straight after that film that we worked on. I decided to challenge myself in quite a big way by creating a feature film. So that's sort of my next hurdle to jump is to complete this film.
So how long's it been in the making, Dana?
So it's been a couple of years in the making. Originally, when I first started doing it, it was just going to be another short film, whether it be a very large short film.
Yeah.
And then throughout the filming process, when I was filming it, I started to realise that the duration of the film just kept growing and growing. So I decided to take the gamble on turning it into a feature film. So that meant sort of rejigging the script to make it fit in that sort of format. So I had to rewrite certain scenes. I had to add scenes in. It was quite an undertaking, and luckily I had everyone on board, and they were all supportive of this idea. And so that's sort of how it sort of came about.
So I'm on your webpage, which Dana Stockton Pictures, which I have to say is a fan. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But it's got down for the genre musical, fantasy, family. So it's a musical film as well, is it?
Yes, that's correct. So I did a musical quite a while ago. I think it was 2010. I did a musical then. And then I sort of went on to do other things. And then I sort of came around. There's something working on a musical which you don't really get in a normal film because there's so much involved with the musical, whether it be writing the music and all these sort of things that sort of don't get to really have a major part in with other films. And so it's something I really enjoyed. So I decided to continue with my sort of style. I have a very fantastical style.
Yes.
But add in some additional, add in music and add in that extra communication to the audience. It sort of gives you a lot of freedom and liberties when doing something like that, in that you can use it as a mechanism to express emotion through to the audience in a different way than what you usually could do.
So did you write the musical aspect to it as well?
What I did is I put together a team for the music. So this film, to date, it's got around 200 odd people involved, so it's a massive undertaking. And I put together a team. So I brought in the composer who worked on my previous musical I did, a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then I got together two of my mates, Brett Hicks and Chris Farron, who both have a musical background, and they worked on the lyrics to it. So they came in as the lyricists. And so what it was just them and myself, and we just, sat at my place, and we just sort of sat around and said, okay, I explained my idea, and they just went with it. And in the course of 2 hours, we had, a song written.
Oh, my goodness. So Lucy's Bedtime, tell us a little bit about this, Dana.
So it's a story of a young girl, and unfortunately her father passes away. And so it's sort of the realization to it for young people. Sometimes it's hard to quite understand that someone a relative or a close person to them has left this earth. It's hard for some people to understand, and it is that journey of trying to come to grips with it. But it's that journey in a different way. I'll give you a small synopsis of what exactly happens. So what happens is that her father comes back, whether it's in a spirit or a dream or whatever you want to call it. That's up for the audience to decide.
Yeah.
I don't like to sort of shove things down people's throats. It's up for the audience to decide. But what it means, what happens is that she ends up living through what we would call a bedtime story. So she's actually living through this, and through this process, she actually learns a few things about how she can continue on, without a close one
Right.
by her side. So it is that journey where she learns life lessons, important life lessons. And I think it's a film that I deliberately wrote so that an older person, you know, like an adult, will get one thing from it, but kids can also get something from it too. So it is that sort of family film where everyone's getting something from it.
Yeah. So how close are you to having it out there?
It's getting pretty close now. So I'm hoping within 6 months it'll be done and dusted. I'm hoping.
Yes.
Obviously, with a film this size, there's a lot of obstacles which you may, you know, stretch things out a bit. But me and the rest of the team are working as hard as we can to get it done as soon as we can. But we also want to make it as best we can, rather than just rushing it out and having something we're not all happy with. So we're working hard on getting it done.
And what about distribution for the movie, Dana?
The plan is, once it's done, we'll have a cast premiere, so cast and crew premiere. Everyone can come along, let their hair down for a night, watch the film. Then the plan is we'll get it out in the film festival route.
Yes.
See how we go with that. I'll probably also take a trip to LA, and hopefully I can sort of sell the film over in Los Angeles as well, and see how we go with it.
On that note of going to LA, I noticed on your Facebook page you're at the new filmmakers exhibit. Is it? I'm not quite sure what it was, but I just saw new filmmakers Los Angeles. Just tell us a little bit about that quickly.
So I had the opportunity to go to Los Angeles for a film festival that was running there, which is basically for a short film I did. So I did a short film in 2012 called Toby and the Runaway Kite.
Yeah.
That was my first experience in LA, so it was a good experience for me to go and see the place and see whether it's something, you know, worth going down, whether, you know, speaking to certain people over there would be a good thing. And sort of going through that experience and seeing, you know, a city that is built on the film industry, it's quite an eye-opener to sort of see the lifestyle there, see the whole city in general and how it's been built on this one industry.
Yes.
So that's sort of why I've decided that'll be worth going down, trying to, you know, get the film seen over there.
Yes, yeah. So you made your short film Toby and the Kite, and you got invited over, and when everything went from there, sort of thing, did it?
Yeah. So I mean, I've gotten to some film festivals over there in the past, but this was the first time I was actually able to go. You know, whether it be like, you know, other things were stopping me from going, like, you know, I had things on and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But so it meant I could go there and experience it. And going there for that particular reason was a learning experience, but it was really interesting to see what's involved with the film festivals over there, with the press and the red carpets and everything over there. It's a different experience. So having to sort of being shoved on a red carpet was the first time was interesting, and then having all the cameras thrown on you, it's quite nerve-wracking and you know, a shaky experience, but you do what you can.
Yeah. I'm looking at a photo of you now, actually, on your Facebook page, which has got the whole background, you know, with the new filmmakers and all that sort of thing. So, exciting times, Dana, exciting times. Well, look, we're going to have to sort of cut short, really, because it's getting close to coming up to 10 o'clock, but I really appreciate you coming on this morning, and obviously things are really, it's your passion, isn't it? You just keep doing it.
That's right. It's something, you know, you have to, when you find something that you really love and you really enjoy, and you've got a story to tell, and you just got to go for it. So
and you have the most amazing style. Like I just love your style. I know when we were filming Fable of the Fairy Tales, where was the house we were filming at? That beautiful house.
That was in Kilo, was it? I think I forgot exactly where it was now.
It was an amazing experience.
It was great because I remember trying to get access to an olden day house, and they were the only ones that would give me the light of day. So
well, and it achieved it. You know, like it's sort of when you look at the background to the film, it really does. It gives you that sense of old house. You know, it was a fantastic experience.
Yeah,
I wish you well. I really do wish you well, Dana, and I'm just so happy that you're just going the way you're going. And honestly, do you do all your website stuff as well? Is that your own work?
Yeah, that's all my work.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, and you distribute all your productions through that as well. So people, if they're interested, they can go online and purchase your movies and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course.
Dana, thank you so much for your time this morning, and I'm sure we'll talk again. Keep me updated with how things are going, and we can have a chat again later, you know, so that I can, especially when you're going to go to LA and launch Lucy's Bedtime. It's